Hello, I'm David Brown from the SOLIDWORKS training team. I create a lot of designs using 3D sketches and weldment tools. Many of the projects I work on use structural members made from materials that I can acquire at my local home supply store. In this video, I'll show you how to create custom weldment profiles that you can use with SOLIDWORKS weldment features. A weldment profile is a special type of file called a library feature part and must be created and stored in a folder. When I have a 3D sketch and want to insert a structural member using the weldment tools, I am prompted for 3 selections in the Properties menu. These are mapped to weldment profiles in a specific folder structure. SOLIDWORKS provides a few basic profiles to start with upon installation, and you can download many more through the design library at the right by expanding SOLIDWORKS content, clicking Weldments, and following the download instructions as you hover over the standards. It is important that these files and the ones you create are downloaded and stored in a specific folder. Let's take a closer look at the selections. The selection drop-downs are Standard, Type, and Size. These selections are mapped to specific folders and files either in the installation directory or in a folder that I have created. Standard is a folder, Type is a folder, and Size is a file. In my situation, I have created a folder on my local machine called Weldment Profiles, downloaded the ANSI inch and ISO files from the design library, and created a folder called Custom. Within the Custom folder is a folder called Framing Lumber that currently holds a single file that I have created called 2x4. These map to the selections drop-down in the Structural Member Property dialog. Standard is Custom, Framing Lumber is the type, and the profile or size is called 2x4. I will now demonstrate how to create a custom profile that I can use for a 2x6 and add it to this folder. I begin with a standard part file in SOLIDWORKS and begin a sketch on the front plane. I'll choose a center rectangle with construction lines from the corners and create the rectangle at the origin and add dimensions to fully define the sketch. If you know anything about lumber, a 2x6 is actually 1.5 inches by 5.5 inches. They also have a radius on the edges, so I'll add those as well. Next, I will add sketch points at the locations that I will most likely need when locating the profile on the 3D sketch frame. The origin is the default pierce point. I'll add sketch points to the midpoints of the sides, and since I selected construction lines at corners, it is easy to add sketch points at the virtual sharps. Once completed, I'll exit the sketch. This next step is critical. Before saving the file, you must select the sketch in the Feature Manager design tree. Then, click Save As, select Save as Type, and choose Library Feature Part, and then navigate to the desired folder. In my case, the same location as the 2x4 file that I created already. I'll give the new file a name, 2x6, and click Save. Notice the changes to the Feature Manager design tree. There is an icon at the top level signifying this is now a library feature part, and there's a little L on the Sketch 1 icon. At this time, I will close the file. In order to use the new weldment profile in a part, I'll click Structural Member and make my selections, but you will notice right away that my Standard, Type, and Size is not available. I can only choose what is available from the default installation. Just because I created a folder structure and custom files on my hard drive, SOLIDWORKS does not know where to look for them. To accomplish this, I will click the gear icon for options, click File Locations, click the drop-down Show Folders For, and select Weldment Profiles. You can add multiple search paths. I will navigate to the folder I created called Weldment Profiles and click OK. Now when I add a structural member to my project, I can select and locate my new weldment profile as desired. Now let's talk about configurations. You may have noticed in my folder structure, there's a folder called Dimensional Lumber. This folder contains a file called Structural Sizes. This is a single file that has configurations of commonly available dimensional lumber sizes. SOLIDWORKS Weldments can handle weldment profiles that have multiple configurations in them. In this situation, the standard is a folder, type is the file, and size is the configuration names. And as such, you would need to add the appropriate search path in Options as shown here. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this content helpful, visit the site below to access more content regarding weldments.